Hi guys, welcome to another episode. Don't really have a name for this podcast, but we've got an amazing guest on today. He's currently in Mexico joining us, and he's very, very intellectual, very smart man. Recently found a lot of things that I resonate with him, and just wanted to get him on the show. Santos, how are you?
Great, Adam. How are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Isolation's crazy, man.
Same here, man. It's ridiculous. I live on the beach here, beautiful black sand beach. The second of which I've ever seen in my life. Black sand. It's beautiful.
Wow.
And people come here to watch the sunset because it's glorious. And they come to the beach, and there's two security guys who go up and down and tell them they've got to go. And I'm watching this every day. It's just ridiculous. Now, how is going to the beach going to propagate any kind of a virus? I ask, how's that going to happen?
Yeah, it's crazy what's going on. So many different people saying so many different things, and you don't even know where to go. It's like you're watching something and you're just confused. You're in a state of confusion.
Yeah, it's so sad. It's opening people's eyes up, though, that they can see that the controls and the mechanisms and the reactions to this so-called virus is actually overkill, and they've overreached, and eventually the people are just going to not comply.
Yeah.
Hopefully intelligence will prevail.
Hope so.
Yeah.
All right. I really wanted to talk about this because I've watched. I discovered you on the Tinfoil Hat podcast, and I was like, "You're from Melbourne. I'm from Melbourne. How come I didn't hear about you?" And there's obviously some sort of, I don't know. It's just not out there. Like, all right, how am I saying this? Like this type of thoughts and a different way of thinking is not really broadcasted to the masses in Melbourne. We're living in more of a bubble where you can't really, express what you want as freely as you want to. But I just want to talk about the flat Earth. Like, what are your opinions on, like, I've heard you talk about there was like 7 different types of levels. You said there were 7 different planes.
Yep. There are 7 above and 7 below. And just like your chakra system, the heart is the middle earth, the Midgard, the middle garden. And the heart in your torso field is horizontal. It has a horizontal radial plane. So first and foremostly, it's important to liken everything to your body, because man is the measure of the universe. So if you want to know where you live, model it after yourself. The Egyptians taught this. Man, or the human, mankind, just for the women who get offended if they should be so unintelligent to say, oh, he's referring to the man all the time. It's a man's world and all of that garbage. Man refers to the hand. Man. That's the man. And whether you are a woman or a man, you have a man by which you manifest, manipulate, manage, maneuver, manufacture. We are the man race, human. So if you want to know where you live, rest assured the universe is in the shape of the human. And we have planes. We have the throat chakra, this chakra, the crown chakra. We have the chakras below, and it goes on and on. And so the ancients taught us that we are living inside the body of God, the material body of God. Even though The original form is spiritual and transcendental. So, in other words, like for instance, your computer, the original form of the information in the file which you see on your screen, the file contains ones and zeros. It doesn't contain the beautiful photographs that you see on your screen.
Yeah.
But they are one and the same. So this is how the universe is. It comes from counter space, from a file, and then manifests on your screen, which is the physical reality. And the physical reality is in the shape of a human. And so we are living on the earth/heart, same word, plane. And that's why we call the earth a planet, because it is plane. It's a horizontal planet. And so
yeah, go on.
The word itself tells you we erroneously call the wandering stars planets. Venus, Jupiter, Mars. They are not planets. They are wandering stars. We have been confused and dumbed down deliberately, so that when we look up and we see the sun in the shape of what looks to be a sphere, we then conclude that everything is spherical. That's partially true, but not in this case. The ancients taught us that the stars, sun and moon, and the 5 wandering stars, not planets, only the earth is a planet. They taught us that these are disc-looking holes, wormholes. The stars are holes, the sun is a hole, the moon is a hole in the force field firmament, which we probably call the Van Allen belt or the ionosphere. They always use the words belt and sphere, thermosphere, stratosphere, Kuiper belt, asteroid belt, etc. These belts and these spheres, they are the only spheres that exist, because it's a torus field and we live inside of it. And the Earth planet is in the middle, and above us we have 7. Moon first, Mercury second, Venus, Sun, and you'll notice that I'm turning clockwise because they all turn clockwise above our disc-shaped flat Earth planet horizontal stationary Earth. Sun, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and then around that we have the Uranian firmament, the Neptunian crystalline waters, and the Plutonian primum mobile. Then outside of that is what's called the Empyrean, the dwelling place of the blessed, the eternal dwelling place of the blessed souls. Because when we escape this torus field, this solar system, we then become unconditioned and unlimited. And this is what people call heaven, the highest plane of heaven. Because all of those planes, those 10 planes that I described, from the moon to Pluto, those 10 sephirotic, you'll see the Kabbalistic tree here, Ketha, Chokmah, I'm forgetting the names, but anyway, look, let's just be basic here. Ketha and Malkuth at the bottom. So you can see the 10 planes shaped concentrically as the Russian dolls are. They are depicted in the shape of your hands when you bring them together. This is the Kabbalistic tree, Ketha, Malkuth. So below us, according to the Jews, they call it the Greeks call it Hades. The Hebrews call it, the Latins call it Infer. The Hindus call it the plains of Atala. and there are 7 of them. And they are also discs. They are material, not like the luminous 7 above us.
Yeah.
These are actual material discs. Mahatala, Subtala, Putala, they all end in Tala. And these are called the subterranean heavenly planets, but they're also called hellish. And this is where many of the hellish entities who control our earth come from. Some people call this hollow earth, under the earth, etc., etc. So it is only due to our ignorance that we are not aware of the planetary systems and how this universe works. But I've been using this model since 2015, and I've never, ever had to use any other model because there is no other model. It's the same shape as your body. It goes up the tree, the Yggdrasil tree, which is the hyperbola inside the middle of a torus field. Every torus field has a hyperbola. It's a hyperbolic tree plane which goes straight through every torus field. And it's the same in your body. As the energy goes in your fontanelle and out your perineum, it is a circulating Ouroboros type energy field which makes all forms. Whether it's an atom, whether it's a galaxy, it matters not. There is only one form in this self-similar fractal universe. And I'm going to change this shirt because I had this on yesterday and I must have been sweating, and all I can smell is my BOs.
Go for it. Oh, wow. This is cool. So much stuff we'll learn.
Wow.
It's great. It's
Excuse me.
Yeah, you got to see it from my perspective. I'm sitting here, and usually I listen to you on podcasts. So I'm just in podcast listening mode. I'm just like, oh yeah.
I can't believe it. I thought there was some freaking stinky bear outside my window or something. But mate, I fell asleep in my shirt. I got home late, and we went to a music party, although we weren't supposed to because there's no social distancing when you go and visit your friends and have some music, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy. So you're like blowing my mind when you're saying all this stuff. How did you acquire like this type of thing? Like, did you read about it, or was it something that you felt like in searching into things? Because currently, right now, my state of mind is probably, I would say, confused. I would be one of the most confused people right now.
Confusion is not a bad thing, brother. Brain fog and laziness of brain, that is a bad thing. Confusion, contrary to what people think, means, to them it means division, and it means scrambled energy, etc., all kinds of negative things. But if you look at the word fuse, it means that you are endeavoring to fuse or syncretize things which seem to be disparate and at odds with each other. But nothing is at odds with each other, brother, nothing. All fields of human knowledge can be integrated and syncretized. What you need to do is one thing and only one thing, and that is settle your mind and allow it to work as it's supposed to. Meditation, yoga, focusing on the questions you have, and they will come to you. The answers will come. Your habits need to change. When I started vegetarianism in 2008, that's when it all came together. Before that, I couldn't put things together because death begets death. And when you have murdered, traumatized, exploited, and trafficked animal parts in your body, the spirit will not allow you to channel and download the secrets and wisdom that are there waiting for you to inherit. And humans are incredible. We have a diet. We have a very, very special diet, and I call it the Garden of Eden diet. And that is fruit. The more fruit you eat, but don't eat fruit with other things like vegetables and nuts. Eat it separately. So I would say start having fruit in the morning till lunchtime. And if you need a cooked meal, perhaps just have it in the evening or whatever else other meal you have to have, whether you're still eating meat or whatever. But I would discard with meat as quick as you can, brother. This is why people are getting sick. This is why people are dying in their 60s, 70s, and 80s and 90s, which is absolutely unheard of, and came only with the introduction of flesh eating, which was invented by the Jesuits 500 years ago, because prior to that, humans were not barbaric, as they teach us. They were not eating animals. They loved the animals. They did not exploit them. They worked together, harmony. It was peace. Throughout the whole earth, there was no cannibalism and no animal eating, which is the same thing, really. You eat an animal, you're a cannibal. And the other thing you are is a bloodlust glutton, and gluttons will not inherit God's kingdom. That is the reason why you feel that you haven't reached the potential that you know you have, and you have. Once you stop eating flesh, the murdered animals that you've traumatized will not continue to curse you, and your mind will function the way it's meant to. Every now and then, I get messages from people saying, oh, Santos, you look skinny or whatever, or you look like you need a hamburger and you've got brain fog. If ever I've got brain fog, it's probably because I smoke too many joints. or I'm stoned off my tits, because I've never, ever done a presentation or an interview straight, because I don't want to bore you. I don't want to be boring like the rest of the interviews I see. People are just like, boring. So, yeah, sometimes I do get a little bit slow when I have too much weed, but that's my business. The Bible does recommend to take cannabis. It's called cannabism, and 5 times in the Bible it says, only burn this incense, meaning consume it, to me, the Lord, because the Lord is inside of you. And how you burn cannabism is by ingesting it, because it is the inspirational medicine for mankind. And if anyone's out there who thinks that they disagree with that, that's your business. And let me tell you, if you enjoy my syncretism or anything I've done, number 1, cannabis. Thank cannabis that I put my syncretism together, because that's where it comes from. I don't do a lot of syncretism when I'm straight. Whenever I take cannabis, it just pours into me. I need a pen and paper if I'm going to take notes, because that is the Mother Mary who comforts me. So I like to preempt anyone who likes to attack me, because they do, because they have to somehow substantiate the fact that they are animal pimps, animal traffickers, animal murderers, and animal exploiters. And so they want to go to bed feeling like they're really, really good little angels, but they're not, murderers. And I don't like them sleeping peacefully with all the animals that they are murdering and turning a blind eye to in the abattoirs that are being tortured. And I want to be a voice for those animals. I don't care whether people think I have brain fog, or I'm ugly, or I'm skinny. I am not a murderer. I am one who helps other people to be saved, to save themselves from stupidity and ignorance. So that's my preempt to those people who think they're so smart when they come to me. I'm the one who's 57, who's never had a disease in my life. I've only had one headache. I don't have the piles that meat eaters do. I don't have the diabetes that meat eaters do. I don't have the heart disease, the indigestion, the asthma, the rheumatism, the arthritis, the ugliness that they have. Yeah, all right, you might think I'm ugly, but I'm not as ugly as you are, flesh eater. You are much, much more ugly. And you need a new mirror if you think not. Look at yourself in the mirror when you are eating animals, and you will see that they make you ugly. If you look around, you will see people who eat a lot of pork, for instance. They look porky. Ooh, ooh, ooh. They've lost their human look. They've lost their human frequency. Because whatever you ingest, you are. So if you're eating animal bums, then you're a bum. If you're eating corpse, then you're a corpse. And the scriptures say, let the dead bury their dead. Now, I'm going to take a break from that subject because I'm very passionate this morning. I woke up with some idiot who made a comment about me, and he recommended that I eat animals. So I wrote back to him with a lot of passion, and I'm still carrying that. That's why I'm a little bit agitated right now. So please forgive me.
All good. Happens. Mm-hmm. So, if you want to change the subject, that's cool. That's great. I've never seen this side of you before, man. That passion.
Yeah. Cannabis oil, CBD, THC.
Yeah.
Just in case.
That's great. That's great. Now, definitely, there've been I don't know who it is exactly, but people, like even my parents, they don't like cannabis. They say that it's bad for you, and you're like, why? You drink alcohol. How is cannabis bad for you? Like, you see people getting hit in Australia on a consistent basis, and then everyone's talking about a cannabis, which makes you like loving.
I know. It's so sad. This is indoctrination, brother. Indoctrination. People will say any stupid thing that they've learned from more stupider people.
Yeah.
This is, and then it harms them because they're the ones who have got piles and arthritis and diabetes and that. Oh, you drug addict, you're taking cannabis. Yeah, and I'm the healthy one, and I'm looking at you with your big fat gut and your ugly head, and you're the one that's dying and going to hospital and consuming, all those medications. I don't need medications. I've never had medications.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't need big pharma and allopathetic medicines. I take homeopathic, not allopathetic.
Yeah.
Allopathic.
I was talking about syncretism. You went down because I do comedy. I'm not very good, but I do stand up, and I think it's a part of our job is to find links between like society and call out the bullshit, the truth seeking. And I think that, like, I've been watching some things about like people with like words and like politicians using wizardry in their words to try and dictate like, I don't know, just bad things upon people. How important are words in our society?
Well, the Jews have an expression which is called abracadabra.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. And that means I create through words. And that word abra, Bereshit, is in the first verse of the Bible, where it says that God created the world and everything in it. It says, Bereshit Elohim Bereshit, something like that. Bara is abra. And as we know, abra means to open. In Spanish, abra la puerta means open the door. Abra. In Italian, it's apra. Apra la porta. So abra means to open. So in Italian, the lips are called labbra. Yeah. There you go. It's right there. L-A-B-R-A. Labbra. So you speak with your labra, and every time you do, you are talking. Talking means to create torsion fields. Talk, tornadoes, torus fields, talking. So it's creating torsion, energy, because energy is turning, same word. So that energy, that sound, that frequency coming from your mouth is generating a frequency which then has an effect. So when you say to someone, I love you, it's very different to I hate your guts. It's totally a different feeling for the recipient, right?
Yeah. Even the speaking thing, habla in Spanish is like speak. So they say habla español.
That's the same word because L and R are interchangeable. So habla means abra. It means words, opening, because you're opening your mouth and speaking words. And in the Bible, there's such a thing as the Word of God, and the Word was made flesh. It's always talking about the Word. Well, word, when you unscramble it, turns out to be a word that is door, D-O-R, word. It's the same as the word Lord. You'll find D-O-R in it. The same as sword, D-O-R. Door is torus fields. So when you speak the word, you are making a torus field. Door is dorado, gold. Torus field, golden torsion fields. So everything they say in Kabbalah, that God made the world with words. Now the Pythagoreans, they said that God made the world, same word, by the way, world, word, with letters and numbers and letters, quantities and qualities. So the world is in fact made by numbers, thank you Pythagoreans, and letters, thank you Hebrews and Jews. And they are numbers, quantities, letters, qualities. And this is all that exists, numbers and letters. And that's the same with your computer screen. It is made by numbers and zeros and ones. And this is the power of numbers and letters. And once you know them and you learn your gematria or gematria, and you know that A has the power of 1, B, both, Beth in Hebrew, has the power of 2, C has 3. So this is why you have your A, B, C, your 1, 2, 3, etc. Because it's a rhyme, because they're trying to teach you. Learn and know that letters are in fact numbers. Wow. And they are gods. They are gods of creation. The letter B is a god. The letter C is a god. The letter D is a god. These are not just, sounds that have shapes and that are unconscious. Everything is conscious.
That's so interesting. It's even, are you saying they interchange? I just thought, how they do those exercises on where they get you to read something, but the word isn't actually made up. But when you're reading it, your brain automatically thinks of something of what that word's supposed to be. It might not be spelled the same. They do those reading exercises.
Yes. Yes. So the original language of mankind is a language of monosyllables. It's monosyllabic. And those words are called radicals.
So what does monosyllabic mean?
Well, good question, yes. It means when you have just one syllable. For instance, the word adorable. Adorable. They are 4 syllables because they are a consonant, or two consonants together which sound as one, and a vowel or two vowels, and no more. Usually they are just a consonant and a vowel. So for instance, da, that's the monosyllable. Da-da, that's, well, that's two syllables. How do you say that? Gee, I can't think of the word, but anyway.
I forgot. I know poly, mono.
Dipole, disyllable, I don't know. But anyway, so the fact is that those monosyllables have the same meaning in every language that exists. And when you do your comparative study of languages, as I have done, I speak 8 languages to varying degrees. So I have penetrated into this understanding enough, probably not as much as some, but I've done enough to satisfy me and to myself, and to confirm that this is a fact, that monosyllables have the same meaning in every single language that exists. What happens is they get jumbled up. It's like a dyslexic thing. The Bible describes this in Genesis, where it talks about God confusing the languages of man. And whereas it says once mankind only spoke one language. Well, that language was etymology, or as we call it, etymology. And please see my Miami presentation that I did in December last year on my YouTube channel, where I titled it Etymology/Etymology, the original universal language. That's why we study atoms when we study etymology, because they are monosyllabic. And when you get to learn those roots, those radicals, then you will have the penetration of understanding to understand that, yes, we have one language, and it is etymology. The original language is not Sanskrit, it's not Hebrew, it's not ancient Greek, and yet they do stem from the original source language, which is etymology. And I have proven beyond measure, comprehensively, exhaustively, that we only have the one language, and it's etymology. So, and it's based on the torus field, because the torus field is an atom, and the atom consists of two things, torus field and a hyperbola. And when you simplify those words into torus, or tor and bull, hyperbola, you have a torus and a bull. Torus is redshift, bull is blue shift. Same words. You'll see that if you unscramble those words, you'll have red and blue. So you've got atom, white light, and when white light splits, it becomes redshift, blue shift, which is the energy of the material world. Redshift, blue shift. That's why you have a blue chakra at the top of your torus torso and a red chakra below, because your torus is magnetic electrical, and everything electrical is red and blue. Everything magnetic is white, non-vibratory light.
Wow.
And these are the lights, or the colors, that are causal and effectual of creation, cause and effect. Magnetism, white light, and then electricity, which there are 7 electricities in the universe, and they are the 7 colors of the rainbow. So the sun is the source of white light, the field perturbator. The sun is perturbating the ether by pulsating. Dum dum, like your heart. Dum dum, all is atum. Atum tum, tum tum. This is why a drummer plays his tom-toms, because it's a pulse. Tum tum. And that white light, which is pulsating, radiating, creates an effect as it ripples through the universe. Red shift, blue shift, the transverse wave. White light is a longitudinal wave, no vibration, radial, magnetic. Red shift, blue shift is the transverse wave, electrical, the energy of the effect. Magnetism is the cause, 10 billion times more powerful than electricity. Electricity is the effect. This is why all polarities are described as red shift, blue shift. For instance, red pill, blue pill, red blood, blue blood, red shift, blue shift. Violets are red, roses are red, violets are blue. Republicans are red, Democrats are blue. Red siren, blue siren. Red tap, hot water, blue tap, cold water. Your children, your little girls get dressed in pink. Your little boys are dressed in blue, your little baby boys. And the list goes on and on and on. Why? Because red and blue are the two colors of the dualistic, polarized material world. Electrical. Everything material is electrical. This is electrical. This cup, this spoon is electrical. It's made of empty atoms. Red shift, blue shift. Electrical. My phone, electrical. Whatever you can touch and see with your eyes, it's electrical. The whole world is electrical. And what causes it is the mother energy of magnetism. This is why the goddess is called the Virgin. She's pure, pure white light. It does not vibrate. It radiates. It's the source of all things. God is magnetism. Now, a lot of people will cringe when I say that. That's because they're dumbed down and more stupid than they think. Magnetism is conscious, intelligent energy and is God. That's what people call God. And the Trinity, which they say the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, well, that's black light, dielectricity, white light, magnetism, red and blue light, electricity. That's the Trinity, the Father, the Mother, and the Son. Wow. Or the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. It matters not which Trinity you want to quote. It doesn't matter. There is only one Trinity, and it is black light, the source, white light, the force, red and blue light, electricity, the effect. So you've got the black and white yin and yang. Black is rest, white is motion. Dielectricity, magnetism. When those two work in unison together and commence to move, because that's what mag means in Sanskrit. Mag, the root of magnetism, means to move. When motion begins, a hybrid energy is produced, and we know it as electricity. Electricity is a hybrid. It's temporal. It is not infinite. It is not eternal. Only magnetism is infinite and eternal. It never changes. It's always the same, and it's not temporal. It does not engage in the temporospatial world. Only electricity can do that. Electricity is temporal. It's here one day, it's gone the next. It's the flux energy of the universe. Everything is in motion. Everything is in flux. Order and chaos. Chaos and order. That's electrical. And magnetism is the source power behind it.
Chaos and order. You're right. With the look at the police start the lights. are red and blue.
Yes.
I think I saw that on one of your podcasts. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's the only place where you're going to learn about it properly. The only place you will learn about this trinity of the universe is on my channel. There are other people alluding to it, but they're only alluding to it. They haven't put it together because, I don't know, maybe they're not meditating enough. Maybe they're not focused enough. Maybe it's because they continue to eat exploited, murdered animals. I don't know, but I know how I got syncretism. Two things: vegetarianism, cannabis. Vegetarianism, cannabis. They gave me syncretism and, of course, my own intuition and intelligence, which we all have. Everyone is super intelligent. The moment you change your degraded habits and stop living off of murder, the moment your life begins to transform.
That's so motivational, man. That's magnetic.
It is. Magnetic gives you the word magnificent. It gives you magnitude. It gives you magic. Magic is in the word magnetism. And then when you reverse the word mag, you get gamma rays. This is why gamma rays are the most precious of all the rays. You have alpha, beta, theta, delta, but gamma is backwards for magnetic rays. So when you get in tune with gamma rays, you become a magus, magic, magnificent, magnanimous.
Oh shit. Oh shit, that's an oh shit moment. That makes you've got so many answers. That's the amazing thing about you. And I've never seen someone online, or I'm actually even surprised that you even replied. Like it's amazing.
For sure, brother. I like doing presentations with people who are starting up. I also like doing it with people who've got big audiences, and hundreds of thousands of followers, which I've done plenty of times. But I like to give you guys a go. I like to share syncretism with you guys, because when you get syncretism, then all the other guests that you have, you will want to get quality guests, and you will be able to start your journey on the truth path with the truth, rather than with opinionated theoretical buffoons, people who still think that the earth is an upside down spinning Santa ball. It's absolutely appalling and disgusting that people call themselves truthers and they believe in the Jesuit Copernican satanic demonic lie of the globe, which only supports globalism, global economy, global governance, global religion, global warming, which are all a farce and absolutely detrimental to mankind. And now look what we've got. We've got a global government who, from the Vatican, sends orders: social distancing. Right. All the foot soldiers enforce social distancing. Wear a mask. Right. So all these dickheads go around wearing masks. And why? Because they think they are trying to fall off the bottom of a Santa ball. It's so pathetic that these degenerate, empty-headed imbeciles laugh at flat earthers saying, oh, well, won't you fall off the edge of the earth? No one falls off something that is horizontal. If you're standing on a table, when I go to bed on my horizontal bed, I don't fall off and pick myself up and go, oh, got my head on the ground, because I'm so stupid that I fall off something that's horizontal. The idiots that are going to fall off are the idiots that are spinning upside down on their freaking Santa ball. They laugh at you who are standing vertical on a horizontal stationary earth, and yet they're spinning, rotating, orbiting, thrusting, hurtling through space at breakneck speeds, and they think they're not going to fall off their freaking Santa ball. What a bunch of freaking retarded imbeciles. I laugh at you, you degenerate pieces of shit. I laugh at you. I'm the one that's having a laugh. You're upside down spinning and wobbling and hurtling, and you're laughing at us who are still vertical, horizontal, and will never, ever need to go to the edge because we're living here where there is no edge, you dumb pieces of shit. We're the ones who are laughing at you, degenerates, morons, upside down spinning freaking retards. We're the ones that will have the last laugh. And by the way, you, whoever you are, globetard, your ancestors will be rolling in their graves how degenerate and stupid you are, that you have turned your back on the most ancient of all teachings, that the earth is horizontal and stationary. All your ancestors who were intelligent, who built pyramids and had great technology, they are rolling in their graves at your stupidity, that you will accept any kind of buffoonery that comes along, that you get educated in your indoctrination camps called schools, and you go repeating that bullshit. Wow, I laugh at your stupidity. Max Egan, Cullen Smith, Christopher Lord, Danny Wilton, you bunch of degenerate idiots. Shut up and stop calling yourselves truthers. In fact, Max Egan, he doesn't call himself a truther. I heard him once say, "Oh, I don't call myself a truther." Well, then what do you teach, Max? Lies. You're a liar. That's what you are. If you're not a truther, then you're a liar.
Yeah, exactly.
By default. He wrote to me on Skype once saying, "There is no truth, Santos." And I wrote back, "There is only truth, you degenerate, lying, upside down, spinning retard." Thank you very much. If it looks stupid and it speaks stupid, it's stupid. Max Egan and Cullen Smith, tattoo on your head, stupid, upside down spinning, globalism supporting retard. If you can fit it all on your forehead, just so that people know. I'll be preaching it till kingdom come.
We'll get into another thing. I don't know how much time you have. I've
got plenty of time for you, Adam. Keep it rolling.
Oh, awesome.
Keep it rolling.
What is your daily schedule look like?
My daily schedule today, I've got a reading at 12 o'clock. I have a radio show at 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock with People for People Radio. I have another reading at 7, and then I have another reading at 8 o'clock. That's a typical day for me.
Wow, and that's all in Spanish?
One is in Spanish, and the rest are in English, but that's what I do. I read people's astrological charts, and that's another thing. If you think you're a truther and you don't know astrology, you're a dumbass. Really, astrology is the science which will elevate you from stupidity, because that's the only way to map out electromagnetic energy. We live in an electromagnetic energy of cyclical cycles which are repetitive, and the only way to interpret that energy is astrological. So the Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians, they would not accept any initiates into their mystery schools unless they had basic knowledge of astrology. So to all the so-called truthers out there who think that astrology is a pseudoscience or it's from the devil, shame on you. You are a stupid idiot. In the Bible even, Job 38:32, we have God telling Job, "Can you tell forth the Mazzaroth? Because if you can't, then you are stupid." And the Mazzaroth means zodiac. This is why the Bible is replete with 12s. Jacob and his 12 tribes, Ishmael and his 12 tribes, Jesus with his 12 disciples, the 12 bread loaves on the table in the temple, the 12 bulls that are holding up, the 12 copper bulls that are holding up the Holy See in the temple. Jesus, when he talks about the 12 pillars in the temple of my God, the 12 trees that are in the river of life in the paradise, 12, 12, 12, 12, and still you read the Bible, you church-going idiot, and you cannot see that it's astrological? Shame on you.
That is weird. And also, what else? Do you reckon there's anything in the 12 apostles?
Say again?
Do you reckon there's anything, because in Victoria we've got the 12 apostles?
Everything is 12. 12 cranial nerves, and the cranium is called Aries, the cerebrum, the cerebram, which stands upon Mount Zion, the spinal column, and that is the Lamb of God, the cerebram, Sarah Abram, and he has 12 cranial nerves, or 12 disciples, with which administer truth to the rest of the body. So you have the Lamb of God motif. The Masons call it Hiram Abith, the Hiram above. You have 12 systems in the body. You have 12 petals in your heart chakra. You have 12 nerve endings in your solar plexus. Your body is made of carbon-12. It's all astrological. And once you understand this, your mind expands and ignorance goes bye-bye forever.
Yeah.
So
I got another thing to ask you. Do you know much about like Aboriginal beliefs? Do you know about their theological beliefs? Do they have a specific beliefs that you know about that you can just show some light on? I don't know anything about it.
yeah, I've got lots, and I've done a lot in my presentations, but suffice to say that they were astrological. Everything in their culture was astrological. And
yeah, they've got the Southern Cross. The Southern Cross is on our thing. It's telling us that we should be looking at the stars.
yes, exactly. And they spoke about the rainbow serpent. Well, last time I checked, the rainbow had 7 colors. And last time I checked, the serpent was the sine wave, which is electromagnetism. And last time I checked, there are 7 visible planets, so-called, in our solar system, and 7 musical notes, and hence 7 is the other number which is in the Bible. It says that God loved the number 7 more than anything else. Hence, there are 7 seals in the book of Revelation. There are 7 candles on the menorah. There is 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 12 everywhere in the Bible, because those numbers go together. The 12 chromatic musical notes, the 7 diatonic musical notes. So those two are they're not interchangeable, but they work together. And the Aboriginals acknowledged the rainbow serpent, which here, the home of Quetzalcoatl, was a feathered plume serpent of 7 colors. So it's the rainbow. And the rainbow is the electromagnetic spectrum of colors which create the effect of materialism and the temporospatial world. It is all about 7. 12 represents magnetism, 7 represents electricity, and they work together. And thank you to Maxwell, Faraday, Steinmetz, and all the greats who taught us that magnetism is 10 billion times more powerful than electricity. So the sooner we get to know astrology, the blueprint, and how to chart energy, conscious energy, the sooner we will wake up from these absolute pathetic delusions of globe-tartery and flesh-eating, murdering animals and thinking that's food. Humans are frugivore. And if you don't know that, I remember once Max Egan invited me to a barbecue back in 2013. You invite me to eat murdered, exploited, pimped, and trafficked animal bum? I don't want to be a dumb bum like you, Max.
Yeah.
I want to be intelligent, and I want to ascend. I don't want to descend into hell with you, you Pied Piper. These people are Pied Pipers who are leading many buffoons into destruction. They give you a little bit of truth, and since they believe that there is no truth, they're liars. So why would you listen to them? Turn their channels off, unsubscribe, and come in your droves to MrAstrotheology, where there is only truth.
For sure, man, for sure. Well, even with the fruit thing, our body makes carbs, runs off carbs.
Carbs.
Yeah.
Your car runs on carbs. It's called hydrocarbons. We call them carbohydrates. It's the same shit. It's energy. Carbs. Carb the fuck up. Thank you, Duran Ryder. That's what he teaches on his YouTube channel, and he's got a lot of healthy and sexy followers. Carb the fuck up. Don't worry about protein and fat and all this bullshit. That's going to make you ugly and stupid. Fruit will make you intelligent. We are frugivores. Go back to the Garden of Eden diet and be sexy, healthy, and happy.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. So, what? This is crazy. This is fun. You do meditation. What do your meditation sessions look like?
Meditation for me is keeping the mind still and breathing. Breath is crucial. If you don't do your hatha yoga, your yoga nidra, and all the great yogas, you will never learn to still the mind and slow down the breath. Right now, when I'm talking to you, I'm doing circular breathing. So once you use your diaphragm, right now I am concentrating on my diaphragm and I'm stilling the mind. Immediately when you do this, you are in your zone, you're in the field. You have to be in the field. In other words, you have to stop the vibrations and increase the radiations. Magnetism is radial. Electricity is vibratory. You'll never have good vibes. Good vibe, bad vibe. Vibratory world is the world of delusions. The radial world is the world. See, what you do is you slow down the red shift, blue shift in your essence. And you go into the white light and just stay still and know that you are the field. It's like, rather than believing that you are your body and you are separate and that guy's over there and this guy's over here, you are all those things. And you breathe that in. You have to learn how to circular breathe. I wouldn't know how to teach it, but I mean, if you learn the didgeridoo, how to play the didgeridoo, you will learn how to circular breathe. And
that's why they have those instruments where you have to consistently.
Yeah. So meditation for me is to religiously stay in the now and spend only time with myself. I enjoy being with people and friends. I'm very gregarious and very social, but only for a certain amount of time. I always dismiss myself earlier than anyone else. Whenever I go to a party or out for dinner, I'm the first one to go.
Huh. He's still there? Hello? I think we lost him. Hello? Definitely lost him. Hopefully we can get him back. That's crazy. If you guys got any questions, okay. One sec. We'll add it back in. See if he comes back up. Hope so. Wow, we went a while. Yeah, thank you guys for wait. I think he's going to come back in a second. Just give it a sec. He's just going out and going back in. Wow, it's what an experience! You get Santos Bonacci. So much knowledge that he's putting out to the world, and you know, you don't think about things like this. You don't think about things in different ways with different different things. I'll just see if he's going to come back in. I think he is. Give me a sec. But yeah, Santos is great. That was wild. It was absolutely wild. I do want to bring up another point with him. Hopefully we can get him back on. But it was just wild. He might have run out of internet because we know he's in Mexico right now. He's Melbourne born and bred, but I don't know if he's born here, but yeah, definitely lived in Melbourne, and he's just currently in Mexico. So I don't know. The internet's probably better than ours, really. But yeah, well, please, if you haven't already, go over to his channel. His channel is MrAstrotheology, and it is a marvel. As you can see, that was just a snippet of what he knows, a snippet of the things that he delves into, and he's able to syncretize a lot of things in his life, and he's able to give out advice. You know, you're looking for some advice about what to do, things to pursue in, and just ways to think. And he's one of the best, really, from what I've seen online. And now that I've talked to him, definitely he's got that aspect to him. He's a very switched on, very smart man. We'll just see if he is still going to come back. It doesn't look like it. So what might have happened? Might have cut out, or what he was on. I don't know, but yeah, we'll give it another 2 minutes. They might have had a blackout just for a second. I don't know. If you guys yeah, I'm going on a journey. The reason why I've got someone like this on is I'm going on a journey to discover myself much more in the wake of this coronavirus pandemic that's going over the world. And I feel that I've been pushing so much shit out of my head, like so much just bullshit, really, like on a consistent basis, just so much bullshit that needs to leave my head, and finding and looking for the truth is the way forward currently. So that's what I think my channel is going to go towards that. And just I figured out things in the last 2 or 3 days that I never thought I'd say, really. I never thought I'd think about, never thought I would go into this thing, just because somebody online has opened your brain up to specific brain thought pattern. And I think he is back. I think he's back. He's back.
Yep.
He's fucking we got him.
Sorry about that.
I'm telling you, man, it's the corporations, big farmers trying to stop this conversation.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. They've tried to stop me many times. I get tortured. Last night I had a good sleep, but usually in the middle of the night I wake up with burning, severe itching, and it's electrical. It's absolutely electrical. It's not biological at all, as some people think. It's electrical. So whether it's from the Wi-Fi or whatever technology they have, but what they do is they burn my skin, and I get this torturous itch. I have lost, in the last 10 years, I have lost probably 9 out of 10 nights of sleep and peace. And if ever I'm agitated or aggravated or looking not too well, it's because of the torture. Being absolutely targeted and smashed. They are definitely, this is a very intelligent itch. Everyone's being targeted. It surprises me when people look at me askance when I say I'm targeted, and I've been tortured for 15 years since I've known syncretism. And they look at me and they think, oh, maybe it's something else. No, it's not anything else. Everyone is being targeted. For some people, they get obese. Some people get skinny. Some depressed, suicidal. They hear voices in their head. I'm glad I've never had any of those. I've got people calling me from all around the world telling me that they're targeted like me. Some of them hear voices in their heads. Imagine that. I've never heard a voice in my head.
Yeah. Well,
imagine being suicidal. I've never been suicidal, but I do get tortured. And it's not biological because I'm perfectly healthy, never had a disease in my life. I don't know what arthritis means. I play the guitar, play flamenco, and I'm very, very fluid. 57 years of age. I can run to the top of a mountain. I can swim. I can do everything. Yoga, perfectly healthy, perfectly. Great eyesight. I use these $2 glasses just so I can see some very, very fine words from here, here and there. Perfect 20/20 vision, great hearing. I don't know what it means to have piles and to have diabetes and asthma, and my lungs work perfectly, my heart, everything, my limbs.
Yeah.
So it's torture. It's not biological.
So yeah, let's talk about the effect music has. What type of effect do you think, or how powerful do you think music is? Because I know you're a musician. Can music change someone's life?
Yes, of course. The type of music you listen to is the type of consciousness that you will have. Music affects the body at the cellular level, at the DNA level, and enables the codons to correctly encode your RNA so that your body replicates according to its DNA. Now, I'm 57. I've never had a problem with obesity. I've never had a big fat gut. I've never had a whiskey nose. I've never had any wrinkles. And that is because one of them is good food. Even though I was a flesh eater up until 12 years ago, I always ate a lot of fruit and a lot of salads every day and a lot of good water, and I was into nutrition. The other thing is music. That is what's kept me maintaining my form. This is how I used to look. I've got the same body as when I was a teenager. You see some people in their teens, you see photographs of them in their teens, then in their 20s, their bodies change shape. And in their 30s, even more. And in their 40s, and you'll see people with all kinds of dysformities, misformities. Big fat necks and big fat guts and all of this. This is because of a lack of pure energies, pure food, pure music. Perhaps they listen to bad music, I don't know. But some music is designed, especially 440 music, to rearrange the codons and confuse them. And so what happens is a lot of people are actually changing their body shapes and energy and frequency through bad music they listen to. Very, very important to be listening to good music and have a lot of classical and Baroque and Renaissance and sweet music in your life. I like to listen to rock and roll. I love it. Big fan of Led Zeppelin. Big fan of the British rock. I grew up with it. But I've always had my own guitar music as well. And so balancing it is very, very important. Music is the same root as magnetism, muse, mag, and the muses are the spirits which generate melodies and inspiration for ones to be able to interpret that and play the music. It's the language of the gods. So when people try to debunk astrology, I have a laugh, because how can you debunk a language? Like, how can you debunk music? You can't debunk music. You can hate it. You can dislike it. You can dislike the genres. For instance, if you only like jazz and you hate blues, that's fair enough. That's your dislike. But you cannot debunk it. You can't say, because you're a jazz musician, you can't say that you're going to debunk blues. And this is why I laugh when people, idiots like Bro Sanchez, he's actually done presentations and wasted people's time and money debunking astrology. And he calls himself a truther. And he's going to debunk astrology. How do you do that, you peanut brain? You can't debunk a language, retard. You're a false prophet. You're a false prophet. It's a language. So this is important, to be able to use music and astrology in the same way, to express yourself and to understand how the universe is expressing itself.
Well, I've noticed one thing. Whenever you like see something in the purest of forms, like in terms of art forms, you just like you what's the word? You feel like it's magnetic. Like you push towards it. If you see something that's in the purest of forms and they're playing it, it doesn't matter what language they're doing it in, you can still understand it. There's like a language of purity.
Yeah, trying to debunk astrology would be tantamount to trying to debunk Chinese, German, Japanese, because you don't understand it. You're sitting there listening to Chinese and you're going, that idiot's speaking a pseudo language because I don't understand it. Where do you begin? Where do you begin?
Santo, where do you go when you're like, what's your go-to when you're feeling like shit, like you're feeling bad or like you're having a bad day? What's your go-to?
Well, I never do. I always feel good. I do get stressed and agitated and angry, but it doesn't mean I don't feel good. I'm always knowing that I am godlike and beautiful and intelligent and wonderful. I always believe in my aspirations, always have. I've always known that I could do what I wanted to do. For instance, I've sold 100,000 albums, and I did that without signing up and selling my soul. I went to the streets as a street performer in a bus in Melbourne, since from 2000 to 2012, and then since then I've been just doing syncretism and living off that. I've never had bosses. For 2 years of my life I've had bosses. So I've generated this. I've generated my independence and freedom and my own self-expression, and I've lived the life that I've wanted to live, and I've been blessed with music. Fancy selling 100,000 CDs on your own without a label. This is platinum in Australia.
It's huge.
And that, when you know who you are and why you're here, I came here to do music and syncretism, and I've done it. I haven't done anything else. And so when you know that and you live according to your calling, you will generate happiness. But I suppose that's not the answer that everyone's looking for. Everyone will be looking for an answer as more practical in the short term. And that would be, look after yourself. What you put into your body and what comes out of your body will hurt you and affect you. So watch what you're eating. Don't subscribe. Don't settle for what I call a yum-yum diet. You know, people see all these sugar-coated poisonous cakes and immediately they go yum yum. You know, and that's what I call a yum yum diet. McDonald's, Burger King, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Sure, it tastes great and it's finger-licking good, but it's not good. You know, if I give you a glass of water, pure water, mountain spring water, and I drop one drop of arsenic in it, and you drink it, you will die. And so when they make these beautiful Big Macs, smells great. That smells good. Not to me, but to others, it smells good. And you do that to your holy temple, your body, no wonder.
Yeah.
No wonder people get depressed, because they're not treating themselves as gods, as important, as something to respect, something to love and take care for. If you don't take care of your own body, depression will creep in, even though you are powerful. Demonic entities will latch themselves to your field and debilitate you and parasite your energy from you. So there are many things, many teachings and protocols. If you come to my syncretism page, you will learn all the things that will keep you happy. And at 57 years of age, you will be happy, sexy, and intelligent. And you will be vertical on a horizontal plane. You will never be deluded about where you are and who you are, and you will ascend. Syncretism has everything. Everything you need is on my YouTube channel for ascension and for optimization of the self, and to grow and to be godly and goodly and to be more than you ever thought you would be. I'm more than I ever thought that I would be. I never dreamt that I would sell 100,000 albums. I never dreamt that I would know syncretism and how to truly and correctly interpret Bhagavad Gita, Bible, Quran, and no matter what book you put under my nose, I know how to read it because I have the key. I never dreamt I would. I used to, as a Jehovah's Witness for 30 years, I always thought, oh, I will never know what the Book of Revelation means. It's just humanly impossible. It's so mystical and so encoded and so impossible to interpret. And yet, it's easy. I've done it in my thousands and thousands of published products, helping people to understand all scriptures, all mythologies, nursery rhymes, fairy tales, cosmologies, legends. No matter what, you have the keys in my work. It's the sine wave.
Yeah. All right, Santos. I think yeah. We're gonna wrap it up. It's 1:30 a.m. Here in Melbourne. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're a legend. It's been an honor. When you come back to Melbourne, we'll link up, do something if you can. Hopefully you come back. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks, brother. Look, send me a copy of the MP4 as well. I'll upload it to mine and my channel as well, if you don't mind. And next time I can pick an hour which suits you better. I can do it my evening, your morning, if it suits you.
It's all good. This is great. This is good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Adam. Take care, brother. All the best to you. Bye-bye.